do Hannah Montana, Elle Woods, and The Simple Life all have in common? They are the unlikely style icons inspiring Gen Z fashion, which is taking over social media and even the runway. All those trends you thought had died in your teenage years, fingerless gloves, chunky neon necklaces, fuzzy earmuffs, mini skirts over jeans, graphic tees as formal wear, have now turned into modern street-style fashion. So much so that in late 2022, Harper's Bazaar declared Portia from White Lotus as the best-dressed character on TV. A very controversial call, at least in the eyes of anyone over the age of 35. So, will you be dusting off your skinny jeans miniskirt combo like Katie Holmes did in December? DailyMail.com is here to tell you everything you need to know about the Gen Z looks that are dividing the internet, but could end up in your closet one day very soon. Y2K is the centerpiece of Gen Z's style, the fashion reminiscent of the early 2000s party girls and all of those Disney Channel red carpets. You know the ones we mean. This style takes all the things no one wanted to be caught dead in after 2005, mixes in outrageous accessories, and combines it with modern high fashion trends. And now this trend has even found its way onto the high fashion runways of Chanel, Stella McCartney, and Dolce & Gabbana. But who qualifies as part of Gen Z? According to the Oxford Dictionary, Generation Z is the generation born in the late 1990s or the early 21st century.
With Gen Z and Y2K, I think that is one that they didn't get to participate in, but with how media is, they saw a lot of it. And funny to see the runways have really taken to it, more so from Gen Z. Like Blue Marine is the first one that comes to mind with that butterfly top. Fashion, it used to be really on a strict cycle, and things would come in and out. And what's happening now is there's a bigger range, and people are kind of picking and choosing from their favorite decades. So they might have looked at Y2K and been like, hey, there is no freaking way I'm wearing that micro mini skirt. That is just not going to work. But I really love this A-line mini from the 60s.
Gen Z fashion is all about breaking the rules. It's about self-expression, individuality. We see that through colors. We see that through mixed textiles and prints. It's really about self-expression and connecting through fashion to find yourself.
While Gen Z has been forging their own path in the fashion world, they've really used TikTok as the main platform to communicate with other like-minded individuals.
I feel like we can get away with dressing more towards our personal style and less towards fitting into societal norms. COVID kind of shook up societal expectations and norms where it was okay, everyone can take a breath. It's not that big of a deal if you dress funky. And also social media too. I mean, if your only reference for how to dress was what you saw on the street, that's way different than constant outfits on social media.
I think that there needs to be, space for everybody, and whether that be the minimalist or someone who is pushing the bounds and being really creative. And I think that's what is so great about TikTok, is that it allows for the plethora to happen.
Gen Z is definitely dictating trends. For example, boleros, I'm seeing those all over now. I'm seeing leg warmers. I'm seeing the low-rise midi skirts, the belt mini skirts.
The reborn Y2K style has now officially escaped TikTok and is running riot on your TV screens. In the newest season of The White Lotus, Portia's fashion had the internet up in arms.
I thought from a costume design perspective, it was brilliant. She did exactly what she was intended to do, not only in the sense of how she looked, but also the reactions that she garnered from people through the outfits that she put the character in.
In another hit HBO show, Euphoria, the high school characters' costumes have become inspiration sources for much of the viewing audience.
When I was a kid, I thought Lady Gaga, the way she dressed was super cool. Katy Perry, the bra that she had that shot the whipped cream, anything like that. I'd watch Hannah Montana and not be keeping up the plot at all because I was too concentrated on the outfits. That's So Raven too. I was obsessed with That's So Raven style.
In New York's Spring 2023 Fashion Week, Kate Spade, Colin Locascio, and Loewe all debuted styles that nodded to the Y2K and Gen Z fashions that have become so popular.
That could be anything from really sartorial statements, we're seeing rosettes pop up everywhere, or the Loewe broken egg heel. So these really fun things start to pop up. Something I love to see is brands experimenting with their accessories per se. So the Puppets and Puppets has this great cookie bag, and that's so fun, so whimsical, and definitely speaks to Gen Z.
So, Gen Z style, is it for everyone? Even though Julia Fox misses the Gen Z age requirement, her fashion style has definitely been influenced by some of the most absurd Gen Z trends.
There's been a lot of conversation about that, of how do we hold on to maybe our older demographic of customers, but also reach this new exciting consumer set that's, excited to have fun with fashion, ready to experiment, and ready to spend, because they're just coming into this spending power. Like, they want to invest in those things that feel really special and really exciting.
Social media has really democratized style, and the TikTok generation is now leading the way as far as fashion is concerned.
People really look to other people for inspiration and for guidance about what they should wear. I do think TikTok has brought trends more into the limelight, but it's also still a way for people to be influenced by people and then gauge their style preferences based on other people.
Younger generations are also turning away from fast fashion and its impact on the environment, and instead they're reusing things that they find in vintage stores. According to a study by Vogue Business, the COVID-19 pandemic has caused 6 out of 10 Gen Zers to become more conscious about the fashions that they're buying.
I love that thrifting is now cool. Gen Z are more conscious of where they're buying their clothing, in the sense that now Depop is one of the biggest apps. Secondhand fashion is rising exponentially.
I also think it's because I know for me personally, like when I go to the mall, there might be cute things, but it's like none of this is exactly like my exact personal style. And I feel like Gen Z is really into that. Like I need a piece of clothing that literally is so exactly me. And something like that, you kind of have to get secondhand.
And what's so unique about the TikTok platform is that it is very personality driven. So it's not so much just this pretty photo on Instagram that this great blouse with amazing detail is just going to stop your scroll. That's it. But with Gen Z and TikTok in particular, it really has to be something special and personality driven.
So, are you ready to try on a new accessory? Or perhaps you're ready to re-embrace that one that you said never again to 20 years ago. Gen Z's zany fashion style may be seen by some as just another trend that will disappear, but these 2000s kids' fashion expression doesn't plan on going anywhere anytime soon. And the latest New York Fashion Week runways are just more proof of that. Sorry.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.